The restart of commercial air travel is a key element in President Obama's policy of normalizing relations with that island. However, the U.S. ban on tourism to Cuba still formally exists, as does the 55-year-old trade embargo. South Korean officials say the North has executed a vice premier and banished two other top officials to rural areas for re-education. If confirmed, they would be the latest in a series of killings, purges, and dismissals since North Korean leader Kim Jong-un took power in 2011. Two U.S. defense officials tell Fox News that President Obama is extending the military's combat mission in Libya for another month. The decision keeps two U.S. Navy warships off the coast of Libya to continue striking ISIS and to assist Libyan ground forces fighting the terror group. One of the demographic groups that often gets lost in the shuffle when discussing the November election is young people. But there are some experts who believe that young adults still in school could swing the presidential race. Correspondent David Lee Miller tells us why.
College students could be the deciding factor in the upcoming presidential election. According to a recent study, the youth vote could play a big role in 10 states, including hard-fought Pennsylvania, Ohio, and Florida.
College students could definitely decide who the next president of the United States is. In key battleground states, there are more than enough college students to determine who wins.
Uncertain is how many students will go to the polls. Enthusiasm on many campuses has waned without Bernie Sanders in the race.
Some candidates are not exactly the best, but it's like the lesser of two evils.
A group called Students for Trump says it has 150 chapters across the country. Among its goals, winning over former Sanders supporters. Rival College Democrats of America says it is on more than 600 campuses nationwide, knocking on doors, trying to register voters, and focusing on issues like debt-free college. A recent online survey by directtextbook.com found that 90% of students said a candidate's position on school debt will influence their vote. We heard a similar concern from students at New Jersey's Rutgers University.
My guess would be helping out loans, like student debt and loans. Getting out of school, that's more important for me.
Someone who will be there to support us, or I don't want to be defaulting on my student loans when I'm graduating college if I can't find a job right away, so that's my biggest concern right now.
Even students who want to vote often face obstacles casting a ballot. Each state has its own rules regarding voter identification and the use of student IDs. Students no longer living at home have to determine their legal residence.
I think the fact that young adults move so frequently, don't necessarily understand what the electoral law, registration law is for their state, don't always understand that if you're registered in one location but you've moved to another location, you need to update your voter registration form.
Despite efforts by various nonpartisan groups to encourage college students to vote, recent statistics show a disturbing trend. In 2008, when Barack Obama won his first term, 49% of 18 to 24-year-olds voted. That figure dropped to 41% during the last presidential election. Chris?
David Lee, thank you. Politicians and pundits often characterize the U.S. as a divided nation. Most of the time, they're talking about